My family moved here in 1994. It's been a farming estate essentially, with Aberdeen Angus and Shorthorn cattle, both native breeds, and black-faced sheep as well. Everything got turned organic about 19 years ago, and that was really driven by my mum and her wanting to follow a path whereby there was less chemicals involved. And it's an ethos we followed with our distillery here. We chose the site based very much on where there was an appropriate spring for us to use, because this started off as an idea around what more we could do with the estate and use the resources on it. And spring water is one of those resources. So we sited this distillery appropriately for that. And we spent about 3.5 years from the seed of the idea, carrying it through to where we are today. When we started thinking about doing a distillery, we thought first of all about gin. And the idea came from us knowing we had springs on the estate which we could use. So for a long time I'd spoken to my parents about maybe doing a spring water. Until one day my mum was having a conversation with someone about botanicals and discovered that we probably had lots of interesting things on the estate. And it was around the time that gin was really ramping up in the UK, and gin, quite frankly, seemed a bit more exciting than water. So the idea came from gin. Vodka came a little bit later, and driven by a couple of things, partly the fact that it is, in terms of volume, it still sells a lot more than gin, and I saw that there may be an opportunity there for us as a producer of white spirits to look at vodka as well. It felt like a natural step for the people that have got interested in gin over the past years, thinking about provenance, who's making it, where's it from, to carry that mentality into other spirits like vodka. And now you see people talking more about craft vodka, the provenance of vodka, character vodka, so I think we're in the right place for that. But funnily enough, whiskey was never really a discussion. We're surrounded by some of the best known brands in the world for Scotch whiskey, and we never thought we would compete with that. We don't have the heritage, and quite frankly we wanted to sit alongside our neighbours rather than fight with them. I think the thing to say about Glenrinnes, of which the estate, the distillery, they kind of go hand in hand in some ways, is that there's always something going on. So even at the family house, there's people coming and going. We have a lot of people that work on the estate, farmers, gamekeepers. Naturally, we've got the team that work at the distillery as well. We've got a wonderful gardener. We do open gardens most years for charity. So there's always something going on, and I think there isn't a normal day as such. Particularly for the guys working on the hills, the seasons will dictate what they're doing. Whether it's lambing season or sometimes there's some heather burning to be done. But certainly at the distillery, it's probably a slightly more formulated, for want of a better word, approach to the day. There's orders to fulfill, there's the quality assurance stuff to keep on top of, to make sure that our policies and procedures are actually practically applicable and they work the way they should do, to make sure that every bottle that goes out the door is as good as it can be. Well, it's very early days, so it's a big question. I think the growth picture is the thing we're focused on at the moment. We've got 2 products in the 8 Lands, organic gin and the vodka as well, that we're incredibly pleased with. We're getting a lot of great feedback, both from end consumers and from trade partners. And our ambitions really are based on pushing those brands as far as we can, geographically as well as in the UK. We want to look beyond our own boundaries. We're in discussions with a number of potential export opportunities, I'll say, at the moment. And we want to be a global brand that's recognised for quality organic white spirits.